Hey guys, Elisa Massey here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. So last time we did Morrigan's personal quest, uh, and we killed Flemeth. Don't know if that was a good idea or not, but we did it. And before I forget again, I did get it confirmed that the Rose of Orlais goes to win.
Oh, marvelous.
Okay, God, now that I have my gain up on my microphone, I don't know if it's picking up my laptop's fan or if it's just the thing that I'm hearing it and you guys aren't. But I'm sure you guys will tell me. In which case I might have to finally figure out noise suppression. Let's talk to Shale first. Because we're going to do another more personal quest stuff.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe.
Are you doubting Carradine now?
No, I do not doubt him. I simply cannot remember. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Carradine said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it.
Perhaps there are records in Orzammar?
There is another way.
Oh?
What Carradine said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Taig is.
We can go there if you like.
Its offer is appreciated. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
Okay, see world map. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so we have Shale's personal quest unlocked. I don't know how to unlock other people's personal quests. I didn't really look into that. Let's speak with Alistair.
Your desire is my command.
Aww. I have some questions.
Of course.
You said this Arl Eamon raised you?
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfels. A whole pack of them, in fact.
That's not what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Arleman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
I want to ask number 2 just to see what he says, but why did he send you off to the Chantry?
Arleman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, then you, Arlessa, resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
What an awful thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Isle came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
You were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Well, alright. I'm wondering... 85. I know... Sten was also pretty high. We have a higher approval with Sten than we do with Alistair. Granted, we got him his, like, special item thingy, so... Interesting. I didn't consider being able to, like, level up and stuff in camp. Warrior. Shale. Major constitution and strength. Anyone else I can level up? The pupper? Oh my god! So much. Pet training. Shred. The pupper. Let's talk to Ogren.
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why.
Can you teach me to fight like you do?
You want to be a berserker? Thought I'd never see the day. You're a monster on the field already, Warden. But your style just doesn't give itself to mad rage. Too much thinking, too much, finesse. But if you know someone fit for this type of work, I'll teach him. It'll be nice to have another berserker to grunt at for a change.
I wanted that available so that when Sten... Because Sten is also a fighter. I want to be able to get that for him. Tell me more about berserkers.
What the sod is there to know? You get mad, you fly into battle, and things die. It's pretty simple.
Thanks.
The hard part is getting in touch with your rage. We all learn to hold that back. It's why we don't kill every duster who looks at us sideways. You need to shut that off. For some people, being in battle is enough. But others have to think about something. Violence, monsters, nobles, your wife, whatever.
Your wife?
Especially my wife.
Why would you want to fight that way?
Why not? When you fight, you get mad. By the stone, it's a sodding tactic to enrage your enemy so he makes a mistake, right? Berserkers grab that anger and drink it like it's yesterday's ale. Then we turn it against our foes and watch the limbs fly.
And just thinking angry thoughts makes it happen?
Well, for most berserkers it does. Several years ago, I worked with a berserker on one expedition. Just couldn't work himself up. We had to kick him in the stones before he could get going.
Now let's talk about something else.
I'm listening.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
Are you sure you're fine with what happened with Bronca?
Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway.
Rude. I imagine she wasn't that crazy when she left.
Oh, you don't know her. She was cracked like a glass floor.
Why don't you
Before
marry
she
her?
was a paragon, I mean. After that, she really fell apart. I mean, she leaves me and flits about with that water-tart Hespith. What's she got that I don't? Just the thought of the two of them together, kissing and licking and intertwined on the floor of the deep roads. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the tent for a moment. Excuse me.
I'm hoping that he's just salty because of the fact that she was his wife. And not other not so nice reasons. I want to sell the quartz and then buy some gifts.
If there's anything I can do for you,
Let me hear you. Yeah, let me hear your wares. Let me hear them. What was I selling? Quartz. Let's buy a couple thoughtful gifts. Give them to people who need them. Where'd they go? I know I bought them. So shouldn't they be in... Oh, there they are.
Why, thank you so much. Why, thank you so much.
Give her 2.
Most kind. Most kind.
I'm giving her
Most
some.
kind.
Morrigan's good.
I'm to keep this, am I? Fine. I'm to keep this, am I? Fine.
Yes. Morrigan.
It'll do, sure.
Zevran is at
How
31.
nice. How nice.
How nice. Just getting people's stuff up. Let's talk to Zevran once.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swear oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
You could go if you wanted.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
I could always use a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Okay. That
What
wasn't
say
what I
you?
wanted. Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
Why did you want to leave the crows exactly?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
So, you're simply bored?
I don't know that I put it precisely that way. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased, for 3 sovereigns, I'm told, which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And that system works?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. It gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
So what is it you fancy exactly?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
No, but you needn't bother.
Ah, that's too bad. I do so enjoy it when I get to be flirty. As for what I'll do in the future,
Sorry, sir.
presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine.
I'm
It might be
taken.
interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
Want the crow? No. I'm happy to have you along.
Here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
I actually want to see if a personal
What say
question.
you?
Let's go something personal.
Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss?
Never mind. Damn. Let's see about Liliana.
Something I can help with?
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry? That, because of how out of field that is, or out of left field, that seems like something that might lead to her personal quest, like asking Sten about why he was locked up.
What is meant by someone like me?
You don't seem to belong in a cloister.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Did we have this conversation before? And why were you seeking safe harbor?
The Chantry does not pride, and you should. I desired time apart from the world. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Interesting. Okay. Let's talk to Win. We haven't talked to Win at all.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Are you alright?
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken.
You are very sprightly for your age, though.
Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done.
That's very morbid. I'm sure you'll be kicking around for years yet.
Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Interesting. Okay, I'm wondering now what Morrigan is gonna say. Now that we've done her personal quest. Like, does she have anything else? Are we gonna talk about it?
It's a curious thing. I do not know how else to describe it.
What, is something wrong?
No, nothing is wrong. It is a little embarrassing to admit, in fact. I am reminded of our first meeting in the wilds. I had been in animal form for some time, watching your progress. I was intrigued to see such a formidable woman, obviously more potent than the men she traveled with. Yet I resented it when Flemeth assigned me to travel with you. I assumed that, at best, you would drive me from your company as soon as we left the wilds.
Why would I do that?
I am aware that I have little talent for forming friendships, to put it lightly. It is something I know nothing of, nor ever thought I needed. Yet when I discovered Flemeth's plans, you did not abandon me. Whatever your reasons, you fought what must have been a terrible battle without hope of real reward.
I did it because I'm your friend.
And that is what I do not understand. Of all the things I could have imagined would have resulted when Flemeth told me to go with you, the very last would have been that I would find in you a friend, perhaps even a sister.
Aww.
I want you to know that while I may not always prove worthy of your friendship, I will always value it.
Aww.
But enough of such idle talk. There are more useful things to be done, surely.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. You know, I'm actually going to go around camp a bit more and talk to people. Mainly because I don't want... I've been here for a while. I don't want to be in the middle of a personal quest and have to cut it off. So, let's have a nice talk with Alistair.
Desire is my command.
That's so sweet. I'd like to discuss it in
Well,
private.
we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right?
Let's kiss him.
Aha! I see talking isn't quite what you had in mind. Got it.
Just because we can. And I wanted to see the cute animation for it. We're not gonna sleep with him yet. I love how the music is still going for that. I want to save, because I don't know what looking at this will do. You want someone to share your bed. Interesting. Okay.
There you are. Wanted to talk to you.
About? Yeah, what about?
You and I, you know how sometimes you spend time with people and things.
Take your time. What is it?
I was thinking, I do know some people out here on the surface. A person, actually. The girl I knew in Orzammar. Before I left, obviously.
Who is she?
Her name's Felsi. She and I were friends after Bronca left for the deep roads.
Friends.
I'm sure she's forgiven me by now. Thought maybe I'd track her down, see how she's been living.
Do you know how to find her?
I tried to look her up the last time we were at Lake Calenhad. She wasn't at work at the inn. At home with her sick mother, they said. I figured it was just the ancestors telling me something. But I keep thinking about her.
We can go back.
Well, and a good friend you are, Warden. I'll think about you if we ever... no, actually, that would be gross. No, what was it you wanted to say?
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
How do you like the surface?
It's sodding great. At first I was a little queasy with all that air, but there's just so much of it. No one has any idea who you are or what you're doing. And the ale. Oh, who'd have thought ale made with grain? Aye, the surface is great. It's like a big, bright world of filth without a ceiling. My kind of place.
Glad you like it.
Let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy.
Okay. Alright. So we have Sten's quest and Ogren's. Because finding the amulet for Alistair isn't really a quest per se. Oh, and we have Shale's quest. We got a little time. Do we want to try and figure out... What if we talk to Zevon again? Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
Tell me a little bit about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
You don't like Ferelden?
It is fine enough with its dogs and its mud. People are spirited, even if they can't tell the difference between an assassin and a mere killer. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
My people have no cities.
Ah, yes, of course. The wandering life of the Danish. That truly is better. I'm jealous. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
This I have to hear.
I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home forever.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. Ah, but I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Your home is still there, Zevran.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a beautiful Grey Warden, a woman who then spares my life? I could not.
Now you're flattering me.
I say you are beautiful because it is true. Should I not?
Don't bother. I'm on to you.
I'm not sure that that's the route I would take, were I to continue old habits, but as you wish. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
Fair enough. Aww! Damn it. What does that leave us at? 51. We're still okay. Talk to Win again, maybe.
Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
No, the ones in the tower were the first I've ever seen.
The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most.
You're a great mage. You would never become an abomination.
Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone, replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say.
You have doubts?
Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity.
If one were... Why do you care so much about this anyway?
Because every mage lives with this threat. It is constantly on our minds. Do not trouble yourself, though. This is only an old lady giving voice to her musings.
Can I actually ask you questions now?
So, tell me, how did you become a Grey Warden?
Lady! When? I want to ask you questions! I was tainted, and only the joining could save me.
Then you became a Grey Warden out of necessity. But Duncan must also have seen something special in you. The Order does not take in recruits just to save their life. You must be proud to be able to represent your tribe and the Dalish as a Grey Warden.
I just hope that I can show the strength Duncan saw in me.
Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
Oh, can I ask you questions now?
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
I don't think I'm allowed to ask her questions. It means I've been chosen to do something important.
There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men.
We've been working on it. You mean to say I serve as a protector?
As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they.
I'll keep that in mind.
A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant.
I don't want power. I've never wanted it.
If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Oh, I thought for sure her approval was gonna go down. Okay, talk to Liliana one more time.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death.
I love that I got my arms just kind
Death
of...
is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
Har and Pivel used to say much the same thing.
Then perhaps you know this song.
gotta admit, I wasn't expecting this. Aww. Don't kiss me. Much as I love you, Liliana, I am in a relationship. I like how they're showing kind of like everyone's reactions to the song. It's very cinematic. All right. I wasn't expecting that. It's a pretty interesting way to end off. Next time, now that I've accumulated personal quests, I don't have everybody's, but I've started to gather them, we will set off and start going on a couple of those before we make it to Redcliffe. It seems like I'm putting Redcliffe off. I'm not. I'm just getting these out of the way before my ADHD brain forgets them. But for now, if you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Maybe tap that notification bell to get notified every time I upload. See you on the flip side. Elisa out.